Thank you for visiting our YouTube channel. Today, we're going to discuss how uncommon a body is. Did you know that each individual on Earth have a certain combination of physical characteristics? No two people are precisely same. This applies to everything from our nose and ear shapes to the color of our eyes and hair. This makes every one of us unique in our own way and also explains why some physical characteristics are more uncommon than others. For example, only roughly 2% of the world's population has red hair, making it a somewhat uncommon characteristic. Due to a rare genetic mutation, redheads' hair produces pheomelanin, a pigment that gives their hair its distinctive reddish hue. This mutation results from a change in the MC1R gene, which is essential for the creation of melanin, the pigment that gives our hair, skin, and eyes their color. The MC1R gene is inactive in individuals with red hair, which lowers the body's production of melanin and results in red hair, in addition to being uncommon. Red hair has a few intriguing traits. For instance, red hair is more fading resistant and often thicker and coarser than other hair colors. Redheads frequently need to take extra care of their hair in order to maintain its vivid and healthy appearance since it is more susceptible to heat and sunshine. Additionally, red hair can have a range of tones, from vivid ginger to intense auburn. Furthermore, redheads frequently have redheaded parents or grandparents since it is a recessive feature. Only 8% of people worldwide have blue eyes, making them another uncommon characteristic. Due to a rare hereditary abnormality, the eyes of people with blue eyes generate less melanin, a pigment. Our hair, skin, and eyes all have color thanks to a pigment called melanin, which is created by melanocytes. The melanocytes in blue-eyed individuals' eyes generate less melanin, giving their eyes a bluish hue. In addition to being uncommon, blue eyes offer a few intriguing qualities. For instance, blue eyes are frequently more light-sensitive than other eye hues, and those who have them may find bright situations uncomfortable. Blue eyes are a striking and lovely characteristic due to their tendency to look more vibrant and intense in comparison to light skin. The color of blue eyes can also vary, ranging from light baby blue to dark navy. Additionally, as blue eyes are a recessive characteristic, many persons with blue eyes have blue eyes as well in their parents or grandparents. Syndactyly, or webbed fingers or toes, is a disorder where the fingers or toes are partly fused together. A genetic mutation that changes how the fingers or toes develop in the womb and makes them grow together instead of separately is the root cause of this disorder. Only around 1 in 2,000 persons have webbed fingers or toes, making them a unique physical characteristic. Although it can be inherited or handed down from parent to kid, it can also develop suddenly in persons without a family history of the illness. The number of affected fingers or toes and the degree of the fusion might differ from person to person with webbed fingers or toes. The webbing can range from being hardly perceptible in some situations to being more extreme in others, resulting in the fingers or toes being almost totally fused together. Functional issues like trouble holding items or using the fine motor skills can occasionally be brought on by webbed fingers or toes. The majority of persons who have webbed fingers or toes, however, are able to lead entirely normal lives and don't deal with any significant issues as a result of their disease. A person with heterochromia, sometimes referred to as heterochromia iridis or heterochromia iridum, has two distinct eye hues. A genetic mutation that inhibits the synthesis of melanin, the pigment that gives our hair, skin, and eyes their color, is the root cause of this disorder. People with heterochromia have two distinct eye hues because the melanocytes in one eye generate a different quantity of melanin than the melanocytes in the other eye. Several things can cause this, such as having one eye entirely blue and the other entirely brown, or having one eye partially blue and partially brown. A physical characteristic known as heterochromia is extremely uncommon, occurring in only 1 in 100,000 persons. Although it can be inherited, or handed down from parent to kid, it can also develop suddenly in persons without a family history of the illness. Heterochromia is not dangerous and usually does not interfere with daily activities. Nevertheless, certain heterochromia patients may exhibit light sensitivity or other visual abnormalities. Dimples are tiny skin indentations that are typically present on the chin or cheeks. They result from a genetic mutation that alters the structure of the skin and the facial muscles, which results in the formation of a little depression when the muscles contract. Dimples are a physical characteristic that only 20% of the world's population possesses. Many persons with dimples have them on both cheeks or on both sides of their chin since they are frequently seen as a desirable and beautiful characteristic. There are usually no functional issues associated with dimples because they are not a hazardous condition. The skin around certain people's dimples may, however, become sensitive or irritated when they smile or make other facial gestures. A cleft chin is a slight depression at the base of the chin that is sometimes referred to as a dimpled chin or chin dimple. A depression forms in the center of the chin as a result of a genetic mutation that changes how the chin develops in the womb. Only 10% of people worldwide have a cleft chin, making it a physically uncommon condition. Many persons with a cleft chin have it on both sides of their chins, and it is frequently seen as a desirable and appealing trait. It's possible for a cleft chin to be inherited or handed on from parent to kid. Due to the recessive nature of the gene, not everyone who has a parent with a cleft chin will definitely have one themselves. A cleft chin is not dangerous and usually does not affect one's ability to function. However, some cleft chin sufferers may experience discomfort or annoyance while making facial expressions on the area around the indentation. Congenital analgesia, often known as congenital insensitivity to pain, is a rare genetic condition that renders a person pain insensitive from birth. This disorder is brought on by a genetic mutation that affects a gene that is essential for the growth of the nervous system, especially the area of the nervous system that sends pain signals to the brain. Congenitally insensitive individuals are unable to experience pain, not even in reaction to severe stimuli like burns, cuts, or other wounds. This can be a severe issue since it implies that those who have this illness may not recognize when they are hurt and may delay seeking medical attention. 1 in 1 million persons have congenital insensitivity to pain, making it a rare disorder. It is inherited in an autosomal recessive fashion, which means that in order to be affected, a person has to inherit 2 copies of the defective gene, one from each parent. Congenitally insensitive people to pain may also have other health issues including recurrent fractures, ongoing sores, or other untreated wounds. Additionally, they could find it challenging to engage in some sports or hobbies that entail physical contact or a high risk of harm. Red-green color deficiency, commonly referred to as red-green color blindness, is a hereditary disorder that impairs a person's perception of specific hues. The gene that makes photopigments, the substances in the retina of the eye that are responsible for sensing color, is the source of the mutation that results in this illness. Red-green color blindness makes it difficult for a person to discriminate between the hues of red and green. This may be a serious issue as it impairs the capacity to distinguish between a variety of hues and can make it challenging to carry out specific duties, including reading traffic lights or differentiating between shades of red and green. About 8% of men and 0.5% of women have the hereditary disease red-green color blindness, which is rather prevalent. It is inherited recessively via the X chromosome, making it more frequent in boys and often inherited from the mother. Red-green color blindness can cause other vision issues, such as diminished visual acuity or difficulties seeing colors in low light. Additionally, they could find it challenging to engage in some pursuits or jobs that call on the ability to discern between the hues of red and green. A person with androgen insensitivity syndrome, often known as AIS, is born with a feminine physique even though they have male chromosomes. A gene involved for the development of the male reproductive system has a mutation that causes this disorder, which prevents the body from responding to androgens during fetal development. Genetically male, XY, those with androgen insensitivity syndrome are born with a feminine body and external genitalia. They may have partly or undescended testes but otherwise have typical female external genitalia. Additionally, they lack a uterus and have a short vagina and may be a blind-ending vaginal pouch. Only 1 in 20,000 births result in the uncommon disorder known as androgen insensitivity syndrome. It is inherited recessively via the X chromosome, making it more frequent in boys and often inherited from the mother. People who have androgen insensitivity syndrome may also have additional medical issues, such as infertility or a higher chance of developing certain malignancies. In addition, they could experience psychological difficulties such as coping with gender identity and the societal shame of having a female physique yet being genetically male. Overall, androgen insensitivity syndrome is an uncommon physical condition that is both distinctive and fascinating. Although it can lead to physical health issues and psychological difficulties, it is a distinctive trait that genuinely distinguishes persons who possess it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting content.